Hello everyone. Yo, driving is like a great time to record videos. Why didn't I think of that before? I'm just kidding. I hope you find yourself well, at peace, and in good health, in good mental health right now. This morning, get out of the way. Like other people ain't got to go nowhere. Anyway, okay, for real now. What's been on my heart has been this quote, and I tried so many times to record this last week, and it was just not happening, mostly because that full moon energy was so strong. Like, I was just off my rocker. I was not sleeping. I was just up, buzzing with everything and just not able to articulate myself, and my cycle came early. Like, some other good stuff happened too, but it was just some powerful energy. And more importantly, like, if I don't sleep, then I'm not gonna think very clearly. So yeah, so I'm gonna say it now. There's this quote that I'm sure you've heard before that says, there can be no enemy without if there is no enemy within. And that topic has been on my heart in relations to male-female relationships, more importantly black male and female relationships. That's what I'm gonna hone in on right now. But it applies to like American society as a whole, because it's just more detrimental towards us, if that makes sense. It's the impact of it is worse for us than it is for the people. So there's no enemy without if there's no enemy within. The enemy within would be your ego. And so, you know, within the spiritual community, you hear the term ego being expressed a lot. The ego is not necessarily good, neither is it bad. It just simply seeks to survive, to see you survive, to see you safe, protected, cared for, all of that. The ego is what it is. The ego is formed when you are a child. So all of your mindset, your way of thinking, your behavior, your way of doing things, the way you see the world, all of that is shaped. Your ego, in a sense, it's all shaped when you are a child. When you grow up, let me put like an example to this. So let's just say I'm a young black woman without a black male father in my home. When I grow up, I'm going to look at other black males in some sort of way. Probably not positive, right? Because I don't know what a positive relationship looks like. I don't know what a positive black male looks like, right? Say my uncles was just horrible, my grandfather was dead, like, let's just say I had no real positive people or male figures to look up to. I'm going to have a poor idea of what men are. And let's just say, as a black woman, let's just say as a black woman, my mother, all I hear is her bad talking my father, right? All the time. Like, black men ain't shit, and this, that, and the other. And so, in my mind, it's already in my psyche. That's where the ego is created at. It's already going into my little ego creation for when I'm an adult, that black men ain't shit, right? You grow up, and when I start dating, and if I'm, in a primarily black neighborhood or whatever, the person that I might choose to date might be black, right? And so I already have these notions. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do exactly what my mother did. I'm going to do exactly what all the other women around me did, because I'm missing that male figure. I'm missing that logic. And the same applies to black men. I'm going to flip it around, because we live in a society that just like, I'm not saying nothing's done to women, but sometimes women just make poor decisions, and it's just because you don't have guidance. And I've made poor decisions, and I'm okay with it, because I know that I didn't have guidance. You know what I mean? And I can forgive myself and move on and do better. And you know, women have this tendency to act like they're the only ones that something has been done wrong to. And you have a lot of men who, same as this girl that I'm talking about, say I'm a black male, and same situation, my dad, say I'm that girl's brother, right? And our dad isn't there. Not only am I listening to women calling black men shit, it's being absorbed into my ego. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna not be shit too, because that's what I'm being taught on an ego level. And if I get someone pregnant or whatever, I'm gonna not be shit to that woman too, because it's already engraved in me. You have women who are solely responsible for raising raising both sexes, and they put that negativity, those seeds, the things that the child hears being said to them, and it gets engraved in their psyche. So now you have like really horrible people, right? Like you have people with these expectations and they come true, and then people say, oh, well, my mom was right, or my aunt was right, or Miss Shirley down the street was right? No, it's not right. The moment you shift your mindset, the moment you decide to go after that enemy within, which is your ego, the moment you correct that ego and say, wrong, all black men can't possibly be shit. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't apply to everyone. I'm going to have a healthy relationship. I'm going to think positive. I'm going to this. And I'm just starting with that because there's a whole lot more to relationships than the initial meeting up. There's a whole lot more to relationships than what I can talk about in this video right now. And if y'all want me to, like, just say so, I will talk a whole lot more about divine feminine and divine masculine. Because the truth is, we're not moving to either polarity, we're moving to balance. Like 5D is about balance all the way around. And that's just the reality of it. But we can't have this fighting. Like, no one values singleness. And when I say singleness, I mean singleness. Discipline yourself and do not have sexual relationships. Male and female alike, you should discipline yourself and not have sexual relationships at all. Relieve yourself and fix yourself. That's really part of the problem. We're living in a society where I feel like a lot of men and women are aware that they're emotionally unavailable. They're aware that they're a whole freaking mess, but they want someone else to deal with their mess. And then they create children while they're both in messy states. And look where it's, all right, bus, acting like you driving like a car. Damn. What's wrong with people? It's Monday. Oh, wait, it's Monday. Wait, it's Monday. What's wrong with that? For a second, I was about to say it's Tuesday, Mars Day, but no, it ain't Tuesday. What's wrong with people? Anyway, you have, what I was saying, they done knocked me off my rocker, trying to knock me out my lane. You have these people whose ultimate problem is their ego, whose ultimate problem is these ideologies that they made in their mind from the time that they were children. It's not their fault, but it is your fault. It is your responsibility to change your mindset. It's your responsibility to take those shackles, those chains off of your mind and say, no, like, there's a way you see the world, there's a way that you're taught to see the world, and there's a way that the world really is. And harmonious relationships, harmonious black relationships are totally achievable. But if we continue to feed the enemy within, everything outside of us looks like an enemy. So it's important to go after the ego, to question the ego, to challenge the ego. It's the only way that you can retrain your mind. When your brain starts to say, oh, there's a fine black man over there, right? And you like, oh, he probably ain't shit, though. That just reminded me something. My nephew, I was in the store with my nephew. He's a baby, 2 years old. He wasn't even 2 at the time, as a matter of fact. And my nephew, he's like very, very light skinned. Okay, fine, he's white. He's white. He got blonde hair and blue eyes. Like, he's pretty white looking. And we were in the store, and this older black lady was like, she was like, oh, he cute, and this is that and the other. And she was like, yeah, he probably ain't gonna be shit anyway. And I was just like, this woman, I don't even know you. Like, how you gonna talk to somebody's child that way? You don't even know them. But it's just like, this is what I'm talking about. And that woman had to have been in her 60s, maybe early 70s or something like that, speaking that over someone else's life. And this is how you know that, like, I'm not making these things up. This is how the ego is created. And somebody, you know what I mean, she lived a life of that experience and felt the need to say it to somebody else's child that you don't even know. You know what I mean? That just came to my mind as I'm talking about this. But the ego, you have to challenge it. And the way that you challenge it is every time you think that, or that girl is fine, but she's probably toxic, or, you know what I mean, she probably, you know, cut people or whatever. The girl's probably dramatic. She probably, you know, bring drama and this is that and other. Every time you have these ideas, this negative mentality about black women, you need to replace it with healthy images, right? You need to say, nah, like, black women are educated, black women are beautiful, they're intelligent, they're nurturing, they're kind, they're sweet, they're all of those things. Black men are protective, they're providers, they are uplifters, right? They're wonderful fathers. Black women are wonderful mothers. You have to reprogram your mind. And until we understand that simple thing, to stop looking at the enemy within as it, or excuse me, everyone without us or outside of us as if it's an enemy, we're going to continue to fail as a community. The healthy relationships you see are people who put those stupid ideologies to the side, because at the end of the day, they're stupid and they serve no purpose, right? It, like, choosing a partner in life is about making decisions, and a lot of people just don't know how to critically think. Okay, they just don't. I don't like insulting people and calling everybody dumb, because sometimes people just don't know any better. Like, you weren't raised around better, and it's not your fault, and therefore you kind of repeat everything around you. It doesn't necessarily make you dumb, but it doesn't make you smart either. But, like, we have to throw these things to the side because it's not conducive to our environment. It's not of any benefit to the next generation for us to continue with this bickering and fight and these gender wars. It's not good for our community in any sort of way to continue to create broken homes. And, like, if you're gonna be polygamous, just say that. If you're gonna have, like, 2 baby moms and like, just do that, like, and do it in a way that makes sense. You know what I mean? Do it in a way that works for the child. But, like, that's what I wanted to talk about. It's been on my heart because I think that some people don't. I think people want to change, but sometimes you just don't know how to. You know. And so I'm gonna give you some advice. That is the first step to change, is to retrain your mind. It applies to relationships so deeply, but it also applies to every little thing in your life, all of it. So anyway, I got more commute time. I want y'all to think about your thoughts that you're having. Criticize those thoughts. That's what critical thinking is. When I think to myself, like, ooh, I suck at this. Do I really suck at this, or is it the first time I've tried it? Right? Do I really suck at relationships? Or is this my first relationship? Or is this person just not suitable for me? Are we just not compatible? We'll talk about that another time now. Have a great day.